Alright, we appear to be live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. Whoops. Hold on, hang tight. I forgot to do something. So, this is gonna be a second here. Sorry, all the YouTube viewers. I forgot about what to do with the Rumble stream. So, we're gonna be getting on with the show in one moment. Apply. Start streaming on Rumble. Now we're on Rumble. All right. Good morning or good afternoon. Hello and welcome to Weekly Recap AKA W.W.R. This show is a dive into the odd, obscure, bizarre, in other words, for strange world of notable events, weather, and sports. I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And of course, you viewer are you. Today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, April 19th, 2025. So let's jump into the news today, shall we? As soon as I find what tab is what, I am at a loss. I have too much stuff going on up here. All right, let's see here. Let's bring this down here, and then we go over here. First, from Oddity Central, China to inaugurate new world's highest bridge. All right. The Huaijing Grand Canyon Bridge, spanning 625 meters or 2,051 feet above the Baipan River, in China's Guizhou province, is set to become the world's highest bridge upon completion in the second half of 2025. The mountainous province of Guizhou is well known for its complex terrain and the incredible bridges traversing it. Guizhou is home to more than half of the world's top 100 highest bridges and has set the record for the world's highest bridge more than once. This year, the Chinese province will once again claim the record for the third consecutive time. The first was in 2003 with the Baipan Bridge, became the first suspension bridge in the world to surpass the 1,000-foot height threshold. The second time was in 2016 when the innovative Baipan Douche Bridge, and this year it's doing it again with a bridge over the deepest part of the Baipan River Valley, a place known as the Huaijing Grand Canyon or the Earth Crack. Oh, okay. So that sounds like the butt of a joke or something right there.
You're right.
Yeah.
Didn't think of it, but you're right.
Yeah, the Earth Crack.
I wonder if the Golden Gate Bridge was one of the first to use suspension bridge design. You know, all those cables.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not, but I forgot that my voice is not on voice activity on Discord. So there we go. All right. I'm all sorts of screwed up today.
It's the hat.
Yeah, I'm bananas. What else do we got here? More from Oddity Central. Holy water from Ethiopian well almost causes cholera outbreak in Europe.
Whoa, that's
yikes!
Not too good.
At least 7
in
cases.
Europe?
Yeah. Well, they're buying it. You know, in Ethiopia, that's where the Ark of the Covenant is supposed to be. The Ethiopian Christians, they have a guardian over there. So of course, Yeah.
That's right.
At least 7.
I don't know if it is or not, but that's what they claim.
At least 7 cases of cholera in Germany and the UK have been linked to the use of water from a popular holy well in Ethiopia, which happened to be contaminated with Vibrio cholera bacteria. In February of this year, European authorities were on high alert regarding a cholera outbreak after 3 people in Germany and 4 in the UK fell ill with the contagious disease. A quick investigation found that 2 of the German patients and 3 of the UK patients had traveled to Ethiopia a month prior, and some of them visited a holy well called Bermel Georgius in the African country's Kwara district. Named after St. George, Bermel Georgius is considered a holy site by members of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, who drank the water and washed their faces with the benefit from its supposed healing properties. The European visitors reportedly did the same, and the German travelers and at least one of the UK visitors brought some holy water back with them and shared it. Before long, they started exhibiting symptoms like watery diarrhea and vomiting. Lovely.
So I wonder if they quarantined the well till they got the contaminants out of there, or what?
Well,
I wish they'd tell us that part.
Well, it probably is. I mean, this article goes on for a bit, but the whole purpose of this show is to get people interested, and all of the links.
I kept thinking exactly what I asked, stuff like that.
All the links are actually in the underbar, like in the description below. This is an example of everything. I just copy paste the whole thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Moving on up. U.S.-China tariff war causes spike in sales of Trump toilet brush. Hey, I have one of these. So,
we have the whole kit.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, we have this one right here. I didn't know there's all, they have variants.
No, but I'm saying we have the stand and the whole bag.
Oh, yeah, the whole, stand thing here. So, yeah.
There you go.
This was given to me by a former friend of mine because like it was going to go to one of his family members or something for a Christmas gift, but one of his family is incredibly liberal, and he didn't want them to get triggered, so he just gave me the brush. And it's been
silly.
Yeah. So, a Chinese-made toilet brush designed as a parody of U.S. President Donald Trump has seen a massive spike in domestic sales as a result of the tit-for-tat tariff war between China and the U.S. So people...
I know, that's the irony of it. Made in China. Going to be taxing that baby if it comes in now.
Well, I mean, our Trump cups were made in China. The ones,
that's true,
the ones we got for free when we joined up True Social.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... The yellow Trump toilet brush isn't new. It dates back to the U.S. president's first term in office back from 2016, when Chinese factories were churning out all sorts of Trump-themed products because of his popularity, both in China and in the U.S. A lot has changed since then, though, and today, many Chinese are buying the funny toilet brush as a way to ridicule the U.S. president after he set massive commercial tariffs on Chinese goods. Chinese media is reporting a significant increase in Trump toilet brush sales as part of a trend called Yiwi's counterattack. I'm pretty sure, like, he has to be getting some money, so like he's just
so.
It's his likeness.
I know, but he's also a public figure, so that changes different rights and stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. But man, dude, like, look at all that. That's hilarious. I didn't realize there even so many varieties. Like,
as you're reading that at the end, I wonder if the Chinese people blame us for the tariffs or blame the Chinese government.
Well, what I find absolutely stupid is like all these people, not just China, but in Europe and everything, everybody's all pissed off about our tariffs. It's like, well, what about the tariffs that you had on us?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point.
You know, like you're just a bunch of children. You know,
okay.
Like. Everything's fine until we do to you what you're doing to us, and then you're going to cry? Screw you.
We're being hollowed out for the last 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
So enough already.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to take care of our own.
Moving on up. Man makes up bomb threat to prevent girlfriend from leaving on exotic cruise without him. Wow. A teenager, so...
Bomb cruise for the ship, I assume.
Yeah, well, a Michigan teen was recently convicted to 8 months in prison for reporting a false bomb threat on a cruise ship to prevent his girlfriend from going on a cruise without him. In January of last year, 2024, a few minutes after the Carnival Sunrise cruise ship left the port of Miami, Florida, for Jamaica, Carnival Cruise Lines received a mysterious email that read, quote, "Hey, I think someone might have a bomb on your Sunrise cruise ship," end quote. This simple one-liner set in motion a costly security operation that involved both the U.S. and Jamaican Coast Guard and the thorough search of the Sunrise's more than 1,000 rooms. After several hours of delay, the Sunshine was able to continue its journey to the Caribbean, or Caribbean, whichever one you want to pronounce. But that wasn't the end of the story. Authorities managed to trace the email to a 19-year-old man in Michigan who later admitted to reporting the false bomb threat, claiming that he was trying to prevent his girlfriend and her family from going on the cruise without him. What a piece of crap.
Guy's an idiot.
Yeah, well,
idiot.
I mean, you know,
he deserves his 9 months.
We now have an entire generation that has grown up with the internet as part of their life. And with the whole, faceless anonymity, people just talk and say crap that they wouldn't say in public because they think because it's the internet. So now they have this twisted mentality, and, let me tell you something, Jack, that's not how the real world works. So, he figured that out.
It's an obvious reason. People say stuff on here that they would never say face to face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's what makes them cowards. So, moving on up. Woman fakes muteness for 16 years to collect disability pension. Wow.
Muteness.
She can't talk or something. Okay. Yeah, so.
I don't know if you mispronounced mutiny or not, is what I was saying.
Well, that's surprising in itself, considering how, the fairer gender likes to just, go on and on and on and on.
Okay.
And on. So. A Spanish woman who has been claiming disability pension for an inability to speak following a work-related incident 6 years ago has been exposed as a fraud by a private detective. Good. And she needs to pay back every cent with interest. Hang her up by the thumbs, I hate this crap. Make an example. Well, 2003, a woman working at a supermarket in Andalusia, Spain, was attacked by a customer. Following the traumatic incident, she was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, shell shock, and the loss of her ability to speak. After reviewing her case, the Social Security granted the woman a permanent disability pension, but because this was a work-related incident, the insurance company was deemed responsible for the costs. Years later, as per regular procedure, the insurance company reviewed the case and found some irregularities, which prompted further investigation. A few years ago, it hired a private detective who discovered that the woman spoke normally but continued to cash her disability payments. Yeah, so hang her up by her thumbs, man.
She should be busted.
Make an example of this piece
busted.
of crap.
Hopefully
Good.
Prosecuted. Because they're not getting the money back. She lived on it.
Yeah, like, this is why we can't have nice things in a society. So, mysterious goats survive over 200 years on an isolated island with no fresh water.
Wow.
How is that possible? Scientists are trying to understand...
Pools of rainwater, I guess.
Maybe. Scientists are trying to understand how a herd of goats not only survived but thrived on an isolated island in northeastern Brazil for over 2 centuries without any known freshwater source.
Oh.
It is not clear how exactly the goats originally wound up on Santa Barbara, but one of the 5 volcanic islands that make up the Abrolhos archipelago, about 70 kilometers from the coast of Bahia, but scientists believe they were brought and left there by colonizers. Those damn colonials, warden for life! Livestock like goats, pigs, and poultry made for a reliable food source, but they were usually left behind when colonization failed. Their presence on Santa Barbara Island has been documented for more than 250 years, according to historical records, which is remarkable if we take into account that the small island has no freshwater sources. Despite this inconvenience, the goats thrived on the dry, windy island to the point where they had to be relocated in order to protect endemic plants and animals. So they were causing damage. They were so thriving.
Well, they're not. That's natural to the deal.
Goats.
How do they survive without?
I don't know, but goats are like one of the hardiest animals. Like they can climb almost a vertical face. Yeah. They can eat tin cans. Like these are like god creatures, dude. Like so. Moving on up, what else do we have? Groom elopes with his soon-to-be mother-in-law just 9 days before his wedding. Groom elopes with his soon-to-be mother-in-law just 9 days before his wedding. So his bride's mother. Yeah. What the hell? I mean, like,
wow.
Speaking of
I thought
this,
we were screwed up as a family.
Oh man. Now speaking of this, did you know a watermelon can't cheat, or can cheat, but it can't elope?
Oh, why did I sit there and listen to that? Oh, I knew something was coming.
A 20-year-old Indian man is accused of having eloped with his 40-year-old soon-to-be mother-in-law only 9 days before his wedding. What the hell? Rahul and Shivani, a young couple from Aligarh in India's Uttar Pradesh state, were all set to be married on April 16th. Invitations have been sent out. Relatives have confirmed their attendance, but just 9 days before the big day, disaster struck. 20-year-old groom got cold feet and disappeared, but he didn't go alone. He eloped with Anita, the 40-year-old mother of his bride-to-be. To make matters worse, the pair also took the couple's savings as well as Anita's family savings, leaving Shivani and her father penniless. Wow!
Oh,
wow! Man. What? This scumbag.
Man. Both of them.
Like, yeah. Well, disgusting. He looks like a douche, Like, man. What else do we got here? Chinese youths prefer to live in hotels full-time because it beats paying rent. How is a hotel cheaper than an apartment? Make that make sense. Explain it to me. Like, we've talked about this before. It's just like, aren't hotels expensive? Like...
Well, this is China, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know what they have.
True.
I know Japan has, you can rent a cubicle, and they're all stacked on top of each other. You can rent cubicles.
Yeah, those
by the
little
day.
pods.
So I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, it says here an increasing number of young adults in China is opting to live in hotels full-time because it is more cost-effective and more convenient than renting or buying a home. Last year, they wrote about a family of 8 living full-time in a luxury hotel in Nanyang, China's Henan province. We did speak about that. Their story made international news headlines at the time, but it was anything but unique. In reality, a growing number of people are negotiating long-term stays in hotels all across the country because it is not only cheaper than renting or buying a home, but it beats having to deal with landlords, signing dodgy contracts, and even having to pay utilities or do any kind of cleaning. The biggest drawbacks are not being able to redecorate or cook, but for many young adults in China, those are not deal breakers at all. So,
no, that's wild.
Yeah, man, just hotel.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Like, I can't conceive. Like, because if that's a thing, then why are apartments and real estate even an industry? You know?
There, don't forget, they have entire cities that are unoccupied because they just overbuilt everything. So I don't know if that ties into it.
Yeah. More from Audio Central. This one's wild. Granny sentenced to 4 years in prison for hitting granddaughter on the arm with a slipper. What? A slip? Oh my God!
Where's this again?
The fluffiness. I cannot handle it. An 80-year-old woman in Turkey risks spending over 4 years behind bars for hitting her 18-year-old granddaughter on the arm with a house slipper during an argument. Wow. Okay, this is ridiculous. AC Kayten lives with her granddaughter Viral in the Toprak neighborhood of Denzil in southwestern Turkey. Ever since the girl's parents split up, the 80-year-old woman has been trying to protect her, sometimes even from herself. Last year on August 9th, after Viral came back from work, she told her granddaughter that she was going out with some friends. Why is she working at 80? Reminds me of somebody who shouldn't be working.
I'm not working at 80.
Well, you're almost there.
I'm working, but I'm not 80.
Fearing for her safety, the old woman said she wouldn't allow it and even locked the door to make sure Viral couldn't go out. At one point during the argument, the young woman tried to unlock the door, and Kayten grabbed one of her house slippers and slapped her on the arm with it. Viral instinctively retaliated by hitting her grandmother on the head with her phone.
Oh, that's a little different.
Wow. Caitlin started bleeding, and the frightened girl forgot all about partying and called an ambulance. Little did they know that what they started as a family feud would eventually turn into an international news story. So wait a minute, how come the grandmother is getting 4 years for a slipper assault, yet the daughter attacked her with a phone and caused her to bleed? What the hell? This is even worse.
We don't know what she got, but they are, I guess, looking at it that she started the fight with a slipper. But geez,
dude,
come on.
I've heard what Hispanic mothers do to their children with the chocolates and everything. I mean, that's chocolates. That's their flip flop.
Oh.
They're lethal. Hispanic mothers will beat their kids to the point of death to get the point across. So, did somebody join in here? Somebody is in here. Oh, Goose, how you doing, man?
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, moving on up. New antiviral chewing gum could help prevent flu and herpes infections. What?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, at the same time, with how everything's going with Big Pharma, I'm always concerned about what's in a pill, what's in a syringe, what's in chewing gum now.
To prevent something, what else?
I mean, I knew somebody who had vitamins in their vape juice, so they inhaled their daily vitamins. It was crazy. But what else is in there? So scientists from Finland and the United States have developed a special type of chewing gum that can trap and neutralize some influenza and herpes viruses. When asked to think about the best thing to fight the flu and herpes with, most people probably wouldn't say chewing gum. Yeah, I just say, OJ, vitamin C, multivitamin, plenty of bed rest, take a shower every day, keep yourself clean.
Don't forget zinc.
Zinc, don't touch your face. But according to a new study published in the Molecular Therapy Journal, the Humboldt chewing gum could prove extremely effective at fighting off certain viruses. A medical-grade gum made primarily from Lab, that's a weird name, has been Lab bean powder ground from the seeds of the Lab perpetuus species. Okay, so it's the name of a plant. Which contain a natural viral trap protein called frill, has shown great potential in neutralizing certain types of viruses, including influenza and herpes-causing viruses in lab tests. So, all right, if you're a gum chewer out there, now you can antivirus. That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
But what about people with no teeth?
Well,
Or people with potentially destructible teeth like yours. You don't chew gum. Are you even able to chew gum?
Of course I'm able to.
Okay.
I have never liked to chew gum, ever.
Yeah.
Kid, otherwise. Never liked it.
Yeah.
If I'm chewing, I want to be...
True. Scientists discover tree that thrives when struck by lightning. Okay. Sounds rather shocking to me right there.
There you go.
Lightning kills most of the trees it strikes, but scientists have discovered a tree species that not only survives lightning strikes, but thrives as a direct result of them. For the longest time, there is a consensus in the scientific community that lightning can only have negative effects on trees. In the best case scenario, a struck tree barely survived. In the worst case scenario, it was blown to smithereens. But as scientists keep venturing into uncharted territories like the Amazon rainforest and gathering data on new species, theories about lightning-resistant trees began to appear. However, it wasn't until about a century ago that evidence of such super trees was discovered. Today, scientists know of at least one tree species that not only shrugs off multiple lightning strikes in its lifetime, but it actually attracts lightning and uses its destructive power to kill surrounding trees and hog all the sunlight and surrounding nourishment for itself. That is amazing. Nature is awesome.
Because as you were reading it, I'm going, how do they get struck by lightning? And well, they have some kind of, they attract lightning strikes.
And they withstand it, but it causes the neighbors. So, like, utilizing, like, outside forces for warfare. Yeah. And, like, people don't realize that that plants, like,
it's a battle.
Go out into, it's a war. It's a genocide. Like, go out into any garden, you'll see bushes and everything all intertwining. That's not because they're hugging. They're trying to stifle each other off. It's
survival.
They're fighting.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, it's a constant war.
Yep.
So that's wild, though. Moving on up, this one's kind of gross. Man develops fungal lung infection due to dirty sock smelling habit. Ugh.
Jeez.
Serves him right. What a sicko.
Yeah.
A Chinese man who had developed a habit of smelling his dirty socks after wearing them for a whole day has been diagnosed with fungal lung infection. Yeah, serves you right, you sicko. A middle-aged office worker from Chongqing, whose name was not revealed by the media, let's just call him Sock Boy, was recently admitted to the Southwest Hospital of the Army Medical University with a persistent cough. The man told doctors that his cough had worsened in recent days despite taking cough syrup and that his eyes had become bloodshot, which prompted him to seek medical assistance. After conducting CT and MRI examinations, doctor found suspicious shadows in his lower right lung, and subsequent bronchoscopy showed that the patient suffered from a fungal lung infection caused by Aspergillus infection. Upon questioning him about the possible causes of the infection, the doctors learned that the man had developed a habit of smelling his own dirty socks. Gross. Gross, gross, gross.
Yeah. I wish they would tell you if it was treatable and it was...
Well, there was more to the article, but I'm not going to read the whole thing.
No, that's fine.
Now, let's not get any ideas with this one. A father-son duo defrauds 100 restaurants in 3 years using the same technique.
What?
Yeah. A 48-year-old man and his son, 18, were recently arrested for reportedly defrauding around 100 restaurants in France's Toulon region in the last 3 years using a very well-thought-out tactic. Skipping out on the bill at a restaurant isn't exactly unusual, but doing so about 100 times in the span of 3 years definitely is. On April 3rd, police in Toulon, France, arrested a 48-year-old man and his son on suspicion of defrauding dozens of eateries in the region by leaving without paying the bill. According to a recent investigation, the father-son duo had been using the same tactic successfully for 3 years, posing as average patrons who simply didn't have any cash on them and whose credit card didn't work. The father would apologize for the inconvenience and leave his ID or social security card as collateral until he returned to settle the bill, only he never came back, opting instead to declare his card stolen and have it reissued. Wow. 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 Dude, this is why we can't have nice things, because, if somebody actually does run into that problem, now they can't do it. Asshole. Screwing everything up for everybody else. Hang this guy up by his thumbs and his son.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. You think you're getting away with something? Well, restaurants are paying for that.
Yeah.
It's not free.
No.
Just because you get it free, you just cost somebody else.
Yeah. Let's see here. 14-year-old whiz kid develops AI-powered app capable of detecting heart disease in seconds. Well, that's all cool and all until the AI decides to not do it, and then gives people false reports, and then people die.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
14
He develops what?
A 14-year-old developed an artificial intelligence-powered application for a smart device capable of detecting heart disease in seconds.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know
That's
how.
what I thought it must mean, but I wasn't getting that out of what you read. Okay.
So, Siddharth Nandiada, a 14-year-old teenager from Dallas, has developed an AI-powered smartphone app called Circadian AI, which can detect heart disease within 7 seconds based only on sound. It's safe to say that Siddharth Nandiala is not your typical 14-year-old. He is the world's youngest AI-certified professional, holding certifications for both Oracle and ARM, and he is poised to revolutionize cardiovascular disease detection with an AI-powered smartphone app capable of detecting heart disease in seconds by analyzing heart sound recordings. Circadian AI reportedly uses advanced algorithms that analyze heart sounds picked up by the smartphone and quickly provide a diagnosis that could save the user's life. The innovative app has been tested on over 15,000 patients in the U.S. and 700 in India with an accuracy of 96%.
Wow.
Well, dang, dude, keep it going.
We're looking at one wealthy young man eventually.
Yeah.
If he's not already.
Well, he probably, is going to be that. 14 years old, and his life is set.
Pretty smart guy.
That's great.
It'll be exciting to see what else he comes up with.
Yeah.
This isn't the end of it at 14. This is just the beginning.
No. From UPI, world's first sperm race to be held in Los Angeles. Of course, is out here.
Where else?
California is really like paralleling Japan with the weird factor. So, an unusual startup announced the world's first sperm race, a race involving actual sperm, will be held on April 25th at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles. You want to go?
What?
I know, right?
What?
What did you say at me?
Yeah, this is a must attend event here in LA.
Oh,
I
man.
can see that.
Sperm Racing, a startup founded by a team of young millionaires, announced representatives from two competing schools, the University of Southern California and the University of California, Los Angeles, will provide the microscopic swimmers for the inaugural sperm race. It will take place under a microscopic camera that will track the progress of the sperms as they attempt to cross the finish line. The startup said that there will be 3 races held to determine the overall winner, and play-by-play commentary will be provided during each heat. There will also be insistent replays, leaderboards, and betting through approved partners. What I'm wondering is, how do you keep track of them all? Like, are they putting little numbers on them? And
I don't know. And where are they racing to? I mean, unless it's in a... Well, I'm not going to go where it would be for them to race up. But
The world's first microscopic racetrack.
This is absolutely nuts. The pun not intended. Well, pun intended, but not intended, but welcome. Whatever. I just hope the losers aren't salty about it. So.
Oh, boo.
What else do we got here from UPI? Massachusetts teen's message in a bottle from 1976 was found in the Bahamas. A pair of brothers walking along the coast of a remote island in the Bahamas found a message in a bottle that had been written by a 14-year-old Massachusetts student in 1976. Clint Buffington, an experienced beachcomber who has found more than 100 messages in bottles across North America and the Caribbean, said he and his brother Evan were exploring the coast of an island in the Bahamas a few weeks ago when they made the discovery. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
But to discover a number of them, that's weird.
Yeah, well, they're like cereal bottle hunters. I didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah. Tiny pygmy fountain chick hatches at Texas Zoo. Look at the size of that thing. That's a quarter, so it's like this big or something, like tiny. Yeah. The San Antonio Zoo in Tejas shared a photo of its latest arrival, a newly hatched pygmy falcon weighing barely more than a quarter. So it's the size of a quarter and less than the weight of one. That's wild.
Yeah.
So, the zoo announced the pint-sized powerhouse hatched on March 18th and weighs just 0.23 ounces, just over the 0.2 ounce weight of a U.S. quarter. Wow. The chick is the 12th pygmy fountain to hatch in the zoo's history and the first since 2004. It is also the only pygmy fountain to hatch at a falcon to hatch at a U.S. zoo in the past 12 months. All right. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
More from UPI. Laundry soap pods used to rescue raccoon from storm drain crate. Huh. Massachusetts police and a helpful passerby came to the rescue of a raccoon spotted stuck with only his head emerging from a hole in a storm drain crate. Pardon me. Holyoke Police Chief Brian Keenan said officers were flagged down Monday by local resident Fernando Rivera Jr., who spotted a raccoon stuck in a storm drain grate in Heritage Park. Rivera stepped in to help and broke open a pair of laundry detergent pods to use as lubricant for the raccoon's head. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. That's pretty cool. What else do we got? Michigan bookstore moves into new location, one book at a time. And they have a video here. We'll see here. Well, they've had a book brigade. They had a.
What they mean?
Yeah. Well, there's a video here.
Oh.
And they're just passing from one all the way. So they must not have moved too far.
No. Well, you're going to find out. It's going around the corner.
Yeah. Well, how far?
Wow, how'd they get this many people together?
I don't know. They must have read about it.
Oh. They're a ways off. Look at this.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Like, what would be more efficient? Doing it this way or loading it all up on a pallet?
Well, of course this isn't efficient. This is to show, their new location type thing.
Yeah.
It's free advertisement.
A Michigan bookstore convened a book brigade of more than 300 people to move 9,100 pieces of inventory from its old location to its new space, one book at a time. Michelle Tuplin, owner of Serendipity Books in Chelsea, put out a call for volunteers when it became time to move to the store's new location to a larger facility about 350 feet from its former home. So it's not that far, but
around the corner,
yeah,
down the street a little bit.
Yeah. She said the entire operation lasted for less than 2 hours. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty
smart, actually.
Yeah. So 918 people play Monopoly in Australia to break world record.
Oh, jeez.
I wonder if they also broke the world record for, game boards flipped.
Game boards what?
Game boards flipped, oh, screw that,
Oh.
I mean, a total of 918 people sat down at 150 tables to play simultaneous games of Monopoly and break a Guinness World Record in Australia. The record attempt in Sydney was organized by the Little Legs Foundation, a charity that raises funds and awareness for children with brain cancer, and Sue Alon and Marino Vasiello, whose daughter, Allegra, died of brain cancer at the age of 6 back in 2017. The attempt was the second organized by the Little Legs Foundations after a previous attempt for the most people playing Monopoly fell 30 people short for the previous record of 733. Well, I hope they got the record. That's pretty cool. So, a quick video just showing this here. That's probably copywritten, so I'm gonna mute that. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I hate Monopoly, but this is a great,
I'm not a
a
big
great
fan
way
of it.
to. Yeah, well, nobody is. So, what else do we got here? More from UPI. Petition to rename airport for Dolly Parton amasses 51,000 signatures. Wow. I mean, if anybody should have a name, an airport named after him, it's somebody who can land an airplane on their chest. So. A pair of Nashville creatives started an online petition to rename the city's airport after music legend Dolly Parton and have now amassed more than 50,000 signatures. What about 51?
So, as funny as you were, I have to disagree. It's not a good thing to land in the mountains.
Yeah. It could be a bit nipply up there. Nipply. Comedian Lydia Pavluk and Goat Song Records comedy label owner Dan Dion launched the Change.org petition in the wake of a failed attempt by State Rep Todd Warner R. Chappell to have Nashville International Airport renamed for President Donald Trump. Oh, so instead of naming it Trump, now they're naming it Dolly Parton?
I don't know.
Well, this is obviously a political war now.
Yeah.
So, well, I no longer support naming it Dolly Parton. I never did, but now I have a reason not to.
Why do you care, one way or
Well,
another?
because this is just done out of anger. So, yeah, sick. What else do we got? Crosswalk buttons hacked to play hoax Musk Zuckerberg recordings. I gotta listen to
Buttons in
this.
Several cities on the peninsula appear to have been hacked. They're now playing prank messages using voices that sound a lot like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk.
KTV's Betty Yu has details on this high-tech hoax from Redwood City.
Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. It's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry, because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway, see ya.
This intersection.
You don't need to worry; it's unstoppable. I'm gonna worry now.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of effect. I gotta hear what Musk
Broadway and
says.
El
So.
Camino
That was
Real.
hilarious.
Some believe these signals headquartered.
I have no idea.
City officials say the signal operator
On with it, barely.
Musk.
They say money can't buy happiness. And yeah, okay. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried.
Redwood City said
Wow. I mean, like, deep fakes and AI and all that stuff. It's here. It's not coming. It's here.
Yeah, it is.
And pretty soon we won't even know, like who said what truthfully, and
The problem is it's here, but give it 10 years and oh my God.
Not
it's
even
gonna
10 years.
No, a couple of years, 5 years, I don't know. But it's going to be, but it is here, absolutely.
Yeah, this is scary. What else do we got here? Zoo elephants form an alert circle during San Diego earthquake. Huh.
Oh yeah, we had that, not last weekend, was that?
Was that San Diego?
It was down in San Diego. It was
because I didn't
not
feel
in
any...
San Diego. No, we didn't.
Yeah, but somebody up in
was...
Long Beach felt it. So how do they feel? They're more north than we are.
Yeah, but it depends on how it runs.
Maybe true.
And
maybe the mountain
more on the coast. But we were 83 miles from it.
Yeah. The San Diego Zoo Safari Park shared video of an elephant herd forming an alert circle when startled by an earthquake. The video recorded during a Monday morning earthquake at the zoo shows adult African elephants Ndalula, Umanagi, and Kosi instinctively forming a circle around youngsters Zuli and Mikiala as a ground shook. That is crazy.
Yep.
So.
Yep, they do protect their young.
Yeah, there they are right there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like this news.
Oh, and you can see the earth right there shaking.
Yeah.
They're panicking, and now they're walking around and forming a circle. That's awesome. What else we got here? 2,461 people take cold weather swim to break world record in Czech Republic. All right.
But I wonder what the occasion is. Just to get them together?
Czech freediver David Valenci organized the March 1st attempt at Most Lake, where the water was measured at below 50 degrees. That's cold.
Ooh, yeah.
Guinness World Records confirmed the bathers took the record from 1799 cold weather swimmers who took the plunge at the 11th Ice Swimmers Convention in Poland in 2015.
Ice Swimmers Convention.
Yeah.
I know New Year's Day is a biggie. Or is it New Year's Eve?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day,
The Polar Bear Club.
Yeah.
So, something I still want to do, but I don't think I have the guts to do that. So.
We've always talked about it, never done it.
Well, at this point, it could actually, like, cause some very bad health problems. Like, you could get shocked to the heart or something.
Nah.
I don't know.
I'm in good shape.
Now, this one's weird. Vegas Chapel offering Star Wars-themed weddings for May 4th. Oh, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to go on more about that. This is something that'll interest you. Pickleball enthusiasts play 36-hour marathon to break world record. We got to still look into that thing.
Yeah.
Get you active and out of this house.
Get you active.
Both of
I'm
us.
plenty active.
Well, not out of the house. So.
Well, I'm not active in the house.
Neither of us are.
I'm active at work. I go to the gym. Come on.
Well, you're older.
You
You need it more. Yeah. A team of 4 pickleball enthusiasts broke a Guinness World Record in Texas by playing 36 consecutive hours of matches.
Jeez,
wow.
how do you stand up?
The team, who call themselves the Pickle Breakers, took on the record for the longest marathon playing pickleball at Pickler Universe in Carrollton and ended their attempt at 36 hours. Their current record is held by a foursome who played for 34 hours, 5 minutes. They couldn't say 4 people. They had to say it this way. 5 minutes and 55 seconds in Britain in September 2024. Evidence from the last attempt must still be reviewed and approved by the record-keeping organization. So we have yet to hear about this. And last but not least, this one's pretty cool. From NPR, Putin calls an Easter ceasefire as Russia and Ukraine swap hundreds of POWs.
Oh.
Okay, this is pretty cool. If both sides uphold.
Yeah.
So, and I trust no side, but I trust our side less. So, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a temporary Easter ceasefire in Ukraine starting Saturday, citing humanitarian reasons as Russia and Ukraine swapped hundreds of captured soldiers in the largest exchange since Moscow's full-scale invasion started over 3 years ago. According to the Kremlin, the ceasefire will last from 6 p.m. Moscow time, or 1500 GMT, on Saturday to midnight, 2100 GMT, following Easter Sunday. So, all right. Here we go. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the ceasefire another attempt by Putin to pay with human lives. Shut up! Just shut up, Zelensky, and take what you can get. Say thank you. What's our VP now? What's his face? Vance?
Yeah.
Just say thank you.
Yeah.
Zelensky, you should shut your mouth. He wrote on X that, quote, air raid alerts are spreading across Ukraine, and Sahad drones in our skies reveal Putin's true attitude towards Easter and toward human life. Oh, I don't know, man. Like, you know, as I said, I don't trust either side, but I trust our side less.
They're both playing a game.
They're both scumbags.
Yeah, they're
both
both
of them.
playing a game.
So
Zelensky, because he wants all his country back and go back to normal, he is really opposed to a ceasefire. But in real life, you're not going to get all your country back. I'm sorry, you know, and it shouldn't work that way. But meanwhile, your whole country's devastated.
yeah.
Try to figure something on get the best thing you can.
Well, that shall be it for the show today. Once again, please check the under bar in the description below for any links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
Oh yeah, and we do this show every Saturday at about 3 p.m. Pacific time. And of course, you viewer you until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is. Don't forget to look right and left and rate